Hey, welcome to Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. This is a show all about farmers markets and how to increase your market business success. Whether you're a farmers market manager, a farmer, or a food producer selling at farmers markets, this is the podcast for you. On today's episode of Tent Talk, we're going to catch up on all the summer happenings, review some notes from listeners, and make a couple of big announcements, so stay tuned. I am Brijet Myers. I am one of your hosts here on Tent Talk, and I have spent years and years as an on-site farmers market manager, and I've done it all from pulling permits to placing porta-johns on the street.
That's the glamorous part of your job, isn't it?
It is. I love it so much.
That's the part I love. I'm Catt White. I'm director of San Diego Markets, still an active farmers market manager, and founder of Intense, the Farmers Market Pros.
Well, welcome back to Tent Talk, everybody.
Yeah. That reminds me, you know what? We had a bunch of people complain on Saturday that there was no hand wash station to go with the porta-john. And here I am calling our porta-john guy, begging him to bring that out. And then somebody else comes running over and said, I can't get in the handicap stall because there's a sink in there.
That happened to me the other week. And I called him. Oh, man. He probably thinks we're so annoying.
Yeah, we're silly.
He told me that he hides them in there so that nobody uses them in the night before the farmer's market. So that makes sense.
After I found it, I remembered why he did that.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it funny, the things that we're experts at?
Yes.
Porta-johns. Finding hand wash stations inside porta-johns. The life of a farmer's market manager. Glamour galore.
Glamour.
So, who's had a busy summer season? Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Yes, we all have. Maybe not the folks in Arizona, although I imagine they struggle with weather there, so they're busy as well. Mm-hmm. We have too. Both at our farmers markets and behind the scenes at Intense, the Farmers Market Pros.
Yep, we're busy bees around here.
We are. We've had so many emails from our listeners this summer. I can't believe market managers even have time to email, but they're emailing us. What's the big topic? It's that old saying. Everybody talks about the weather. Nobody does anything about it.
No one does a darn thing about it.
So that's been definitely the topic of the month. First it was wind. You know, we did that episode on the straight line wind, and we all learned a little bit more about weather.
Yep.
And how wind can be a bad thing. And now it's heat. I've seen so many markets either closing for heat or moving to earlier hours to try and avoid the real intense heat of the day. This has been the wackiest weather year.
Absolutely, because we had such a rainy season too. Over the winter, it was the rainiest.
Yeah.
And so cold, and the wind, and then it's just every kind of weather is coming our way. So now we're in the heat season. Every year I forget it's going to get hot. Like June is kind of mild, and I'm like, oh, cool, summer's over. We're going to have a mild summer.
But it is hotter than usual.
And then it strikes.
But there's no climate change.
No. Nope, zipper lip.
Won't go down that road. We'll just keep going. But yeah, what do you do about that? So people are asking, how do you decide? Do you open the market? Do you close the market? Do you call it a heat advisory and not open? And then you get back into the old quandary about rain or shine. Do you want your shoppers to go develop a different habit? Find out that there's air-conditioned places to shop? You don't want them to realize that.
Nope, keep that a secret.
Yeah, so it's tricky. We have no black and white answers to that.
Yeah.
It's just, you just kind of got to feel it out. Remember that weather forecasts are not always accurate.
Yeah.
Do your best. Keep it safe. Keep it comfortable. But, people still got to eat no matter what the weather is.
I think just talking about it, too, being like, hey, it's going to be warm. So people are like, wear comfortable, loose-fitting clothes and bring water. I sent an email advisory out to our market vendors a few weeks ago, and it was going to be a particularly warm Saturday, and just said, hey, reminder, make sure you bring plenty of cold water for yourself. I suggest bringing a little cooler just for your own water in your booth for yourself and your staff. And make sure you bring layers and maybe a little battery-operated fan or something. And a couple vendors were like, hey, even though I knew it was going to be hot and I'm an adult, that kind of reminded me to do these things. So and then I linked to Sarah Marshall's episode of Tent Talk that we played from her live episode from the conference from this past February, where she talks about self-care at the market.
Oh, yeah.
And just reminded the vendors, like, hey, take care of yourself. And different weather kind of calls for different care when you're at the market. So just make sure you're hydrating.
She has that cool checklist.
Yeah.
Where you check things off during the day to make sure that you've done them. And I think, this time of year, a little checklist that says, have you had water this hour?
Yeah.
Because you get busy and you forget. I got to the end of the market last week. I was dying. And one of our staff members said, Cat, sit, drink water. You haven't had water all day, have you?
Yeah.
And I hadn't because I'd been walking around. So, yeah.
And it really makes a big difference, like, make sure you're eating. Because I know it's hot. You don't feel like eating anything. And it's like hot food at the market. Okay, I don't want that. Well, bring some snacks or grab some hummus or grab like a cooler kind of type of food at the market. So just reminding people to do that, and your shoppers too. Point them in the direction of who has cold water and cool beverages. We have a great like lemonade vendor, and she'll make really cooling cucumber drinks for the
Right.
patrons at the market. So just reminding people where they can get that, and just to remind them to like step into the shade, or take your time at the market, like plan a little longer trip at the market so you can kind of shop slowly and take care of yourself and things like that. Just little reminders, I think, helps people when it's hot.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Yep.
And keeping their food safe too, the vendors, reminding them,
True.
Watch
ice
your
refills.
temperatures. Yep. Watch the temperatures on your food so that they keep to safe temperatures, and also don't melt and wilt and all those things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing to remember. Spray bottles.
Spray bottles
The key for produce.
for your produce and your face.
That's right. And your face. Love it. So National Farmers Market Week starts on Sunday for those of us in the U.S. I think that's a U.S. thing.
I think so, too.
And it starts on Sunday, goes for a week. So Farmers Market Coalition has all kinds of good materials that you can pick up on their website to help you publicize that. I've seen on some listservs some clever ways to do it. The temporary tattoos that say, "I love farmers markets." Encourage your shoppers and your vendors and your farmers to really be talking about it all week, and remember that we make a difference in what we do.
Yeah, and we always say it's Farmers Market Week every week of
That's
the year,
true.
but this is a nice time to bring special attention to it. And from a market operator or farmer or food seller at the market standpoint, this is a great marketing opportunity.
Right.
Marketing.
Get it.
Because, you want to talk about your market every week, but this is a really special thing to say, hey, shoppers, yes, we want you to come by here, but this is why. And they have great statistics about how farmers markets really enhance like the vibrancy of communities and how the money stays in the community. So it's a good time to share those things and get people re-energized to shop at your markets.
Yep. And of course, the big thing that, 15 cents of each dollar goes in a farmer's pocket when you buy it at the grocery store, but they keep the whole dollar when you're at the farmer's market. So that's important. We're making a difference.
Yes, making a difference.
Yes.
And explaining that to your shoppers, I think this is a great opportunity. And the coalition does a great job of putting that out. And everyone likes those tattoos. And they have little scavenger hunt things and
Right.
word puzzles and things like that to get the kids out and, just have a good time at the market. So
Yeah.
I love Farmers Market Week.
I do too. So much fun.
It is fun.
What else have we heard about this summer? A lot of talk about reducing waste at the markets, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
We're going to take another shot at the Portland Farmers Market idea of durable dining
Yes.
coming up this fall. Not in the summer, but we're going to start it this fall at one of our markets. So that's a cool idea. We're get rid of the disposable utensils. It's so funny, though. You have to work around the laws. So restaurants just recently had a law passed in California about disposable utensils,
Yeah.
and not using them, and being able to let people use their own containers for takeout. But it specifically didn't apply to farmers market and temporary events. It was so crazy. So the California Alliance of Farmers Markets has been doing a good job of following that legislation and making sure that farmers markets are covered by some of that stuff too. So watch your laws.
Yeah.
We absolutely want to encourage people to bring their own containers, not use a lot of takeout containers, that kind of thing. Do check with your health department, because in some states or some areas that's not legal, of all the silly things. So
Because California.
yeah, well, and I'm sure there's some other places. I think New York gets tricky on that kind of thing sometimes.
That's fine.
But that's important. Reducing plastic bags. And you know what? Step by step is fine. I was so sort of amazed and amused and not amused. Last week there was the Van Farmers Markets in Vancouver, BC, posted a thing that said by, I can't remember the month, but sometime in 2020, they were going to completely eliminate plastic bags at the farmers markets. They had a few nice comments about that, and then they had a whole bunch of people commenting, why are you waiting till 2020? Why don't do it today? Start it today. What's wrong with you people? Why are you waiting? It's like, dudes, they're working on a positive thing.
Trying to do something here.
Yeah, calm down.
Probably
it's
reasons.
happening.
Yeah.
And you do have to give some notice to your vendors, because it is a different way of doing business. Your vendors are going to have to figure out something else to buy to put things in. You're going to have to train your customers to bring reusable bags for their produce, and especially for wet things, fish, meat, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they're sensible to say, by this month coming up, we're going to fix this. And so shoppers out there, calm down. Give them a little time. They're
Chill
working
out.
on positive things.
Yeah, I think that's how everyone is when there's like a new, when we ban plastic bags here or the styrofoam containers here, and everyone's said, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" So it seems like such like chaos is gonna ensue. But then people figure it out.
Yeah, it gets
Okay.
done, but you do have to give people time to do it.
Yeah,
So,
give them time, and then figure out your business plans too, because it is, like you said, more expensive to find a different, more earth-friendly option.
Right.
There just is a bigger expense. That just is what it is.
Well, at least
So,
initially.
Yeah.
So the whole durable dining thing, you've got to buy actual plates and actual silverware. But in the long run, that means you get to stop buying those disposable things.
And save on that.
Yeah, long run, it may turn out to be a better financial situation for your vendors, but you need to allow them that time to get from here to there.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's so many things we can do. Yeah. I've been bringing Tupperware to the markets to put my produce in a lot more. I have reusable like mesh bags, but it's been great. And I've talked to a lot of shoppers at the market about using Tupperware to put things like strawberries and things that are kind of delicate.
Right.
And keep them in a Tupperware, and then you just get home and you just toss it in your fridge. It's so easy. You don't have to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just a matter of people learning.
It's just education. Yeah.
Yeah. But we can do it.
We can do it.
We'll get there. What else have we been doing this summer? We've been working on Intense, the Farmers Market Conference.
So exciting.
Hey.
I'm getting really excited for it. Really
am
revved
too.
up. I feel like last year, the first 2 years were super exhausting for me, at least personally. It was a busy time in my life. Well, I had a small child too. So
that's true.
It was just that time of my phase in my life. But then this past year was so amazing. And I just met a lot of farmers market managers, and then talking to farmers and food makers there, and just having some really great conversation. Me personally learned so much at the conference.
Yeah.
Where I was there to facilitate and help operate the conference. I ended up learning so much and connecting with so many more people than I had the previous years. I'm really jazzed for this year. So.
I feel that way too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I'm old.
Yeah.
But
No.
oh, thanks.
You're young
that's
and
the right
tall.
response.
You're young and tall.
Hey. Smarty. But I learn a lot too every year.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. It's all of us are doing kind of the same thing, but everybody's doing it a little bit differently. And so the speakers blow me away.
Yeah.
And we can't talk yet about who the speakers are for this coming year, but pretty
La la.
soon.
So excited.
Lining people up. We've just confirmed a couple of really cool people.
Yeah.
I can't say.
Speakers are always awesome.
They are
Kat's
always
like
awesome.
a fangirl. She stalks
I am.
all these farmers market people, just people in the
And
industry
authors.
from an author, such an author fangirl.
I do
So-
have one I'm after that we haven't confirmed. So
That's
we're
cool.
going to appeal to the, 6 degrees of separation? I'm going to bet that we're only 3 degrees away. If anybody knows Stacy from Stacy's Pitas, we'd really like to have her talk. Anybody out there? If you know, I want you to email me. I want you to call, do whatever. I need to get in touch with her. I'd like to have her talk. Because, she started in farmers markets, and now she's a huge deal.
That's right.
And she sold her company, but she's still involved. But now I hear she's starting a new food item.
Oh.
And I bet you she's going to take it back to farmers markets. But anyway, we'd like to have her at the conference. So if anybody
Somebody
knows
call
her,
Stacy. Maybe Stacy listens to our podcast.
maybe she
hey
does.
girl, give
Hey
us
girl.
a call.
Come on,
You know-
Stacy, come on down.
You never know.
You never know.
Yep.
But we do have some. I am the biggest fangirl when it comes to farm and food books. So we've got some new authors coming back this time. We'll have our bookstore again. And then we have just some great farmers market operators, some food makers, some farmers. They're going to talk to us about what they do. And I'm like you. I learn from our speakers, but I also learn so much from the people that attend the conference.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed, that's the other thing we've been working on this summer. Conference,
Should we do a drum roll?
online education. Yeah, drum roll. We're changing our branding a little bit. So we're still Intense, which
Very
is
excited.
just the cleverest name and perhaps a little too clever for its own good. How many times have you had to spell that when you talk to people?
Every single time.
Every single time. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And what do we teach people in our Vendor 101 class? Pick a name that's easy to spell so people can find you. Pick a name that's easy to pronounce so people will talk about you because they don't feel bad talking about you. And so we're following our own advice.
Finally.
Finally.
4 years later.
4 years later.
We've come around.
We're come around, so it's now Intense, the Farmers Market Conference. How obvious is that?
Yeah.
And the business side is, instead of Intense Business, where people say, oh, intense, like really intense, it's like, no, like intense, like farmers markets, get it? It all makes sense once you explain it to them, unless you're talking to people in England where they call tents canopies, and it still doesn't make sense even after you explain it. But
in gazebos.
that's right, in gazebos. We just want it to make sense without all that explanation. So
That's right.
Farmers Market Pros.
We just went straight for, something that
Explaining
makes
what we
sense.
do.
Yeah. We figure,
Go figure.
farmers market people don't have time to decipher code to
Right.
figure out what businesses do. So here we are. We're just laying it all out.
We will.
And it's been very well received so far.
It has.
Yes.
Can you believe it? Just
No.
even in a few weeks, so many more people understand what we do.
People go, oh, yeah, and asking us a lot more questions. So, oh, okay, this is what we wanted to do the whole time, but I'm sure you couldn't figure it out because
That's right. You didn't
were
know what
trying
we were
to
doing.
Get our pun. It's
Yeah.
okay.
We'll
Lesson
keep it
learned.
around. We'll still have it on a T-shirt or two.
Yeah.
Farmers
it's
markets are so intense.
I think it's
Get
a
it?
clever little tagline, but that's okay. We're growing and learning and evolving.
That's right.
That's what we do here.
So we're easier to find now. You can find us online at farmersmarketpros.com.
Yep.
You can find our Instagram at farmersmarketpros. I think on Facebook we're still Intense the Farmers Market Pros, but if you just put the Farmers Market Pros in that search thing, I think you find us anyway.
And pop up.
It's so obvious.
Yep.
Why didn't we think of this before?
I do not know.
I don't know either. But anyway.
Well, I think we just weren't sure where to go with it, so I think we just landed on the right thing to do. I know some other companies have done the same thing.
That's true.
Over their evolution at the markets or changed their market name.
Sure.
It's great.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to change your mind. If you've started a business and you have a name that you thought was really cute and you're finding out that either somebody enormous owns it and you're in trouble, or that it's not resonating with your customers, go ahead and change it.
Just do
Of course,
it.
some weird names are fine.
Yeah.
No offense, Charlotte Smith, but Shampooey Creamery, really? Who knows how to pronounce that? And you know we love you.
People find it.
But people find it. And
And I always said that too about Justine, who is our once in a while
that's
host
right.
now too. Her hot sauce company is called Baby Clydesdale. And she started in our Vendor 101 class, her and her husband Dave. And I wasn't really sold on that. I go, I think it's such a cute little name and your logo is so cute, but people are never going to relate that to hot sauce.
What does that have to do with hot sauce?
And somehow it just worked and it's so clever and I love it so much. So you just never really know.
People love having those little horse enamel pins on their lapels.
Your little whoa baby.
Yeah. So you don't have to change your name.
No.
But we did.
But I feel like you don't have to change your name, but if it's really like distracting you, I feel like you and I would always meet about it and we're like, intense. Like, we always just had a little like, it's not really working or we have to spell it out all the time for people. And that was always kind of happening as we progressed through the business. So if that's happening to you and you don't feel right with your business name, it's fine to change it. Yeah. If it's weird and people think it's funny and you like that part of your business, go for it. Keep it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So you get to do what you want. That's our basic message today, right?
There's our advice for you.
That's our advice.
We're pros. Listen to us.
Do what you want. What's our last message? Our last exciting news is super early bird tickets for Intense the Farmers Market Conference are online now. You can sign up right now through the end of August and save a grundle of money. It's usually $355, which is already kind of a bargain, I think, for 3 days of excitement and networking and fabulous speakers.
Long-lasting education.
Yeah. But through August, it's $195. Through August or while supplies last, because we can't sell all the tickets for $195 because we have to pay those speakers' airfares. So, you know how that goes.
And so exciting for us is that we've had people like calling and emailing and Instagram messaging us saying, when are the tickets going on sale? We can't wait to come back. Or we heard about your conference from someone who went last year and we're so excited to go.
That was a fun call.
Yeah, that was fun.
That call last week.
So bringing his group.
Anyway, so they're online now. They're for sale right this minute.
Go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
FarmersMarketPros.com.
Hang around for just a couple more minutes and listen to the end of the podcast, but then sign on. Actually, you're a farmer's market manager. You can multitask. Sign on and buy your tickets while you're listening.
Unless you're driving and listening to this
podcast. Then don't do that. Oh, that's right. A lot of people listen to podcasts while they're driving. Never mind. Sorry I said that.
Or our friend Maya is working out right now. Maya, you don't have to work. You don't have to stop your workout. Do it when you're done.
Finish that workout, girl.
Get it, girl.
Okay, shall we do a question of the week, even though it's just us two?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this just us two thing? So we are going back to interviewing farmers market experts, farmers market managers, interesting people. We've actually gotten a bunch of emails this week from people that want to be on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I can't
exciting.
wait to talk to some of these people. It's going to be so great.
Yeah. We've got some great people. So coming up. But when we don't have somebody in the studio with us or on Skype, it's just me and Brijet. And I don't know, we've been hearing good things. We've had people tell us they like us.
Yeah, I feel like some people really like it where it's just, we're not really telling a story. We're just going straight into like tips and tricks and things like that, things that pertain specifically to people in the industry. So it's nice both ways. I like it. We've been so busy, Kat and I have been so busy. We almost had to Skype each other last week to record an episode because we were in different places.
Different towns, yeah.
So it's just been that kind of summer. It's fine.
It works.
It works.
Somebody told me last week that we're good together and that we should we reminded them of Click and Clack the Tappet Brothers. Anybody remember the car guys on NPR? Everybody too old or too young to remember that?
I used to listen to that.
Yeah, it was
My
great.
dad used to listen
so
to
we
that
need
all the
nicknames.
time. Yeah. Kat has a good nickname for us. Sweet and salty because everyone calls Kat so salty.
Okay, sometimes I'm salty. Mm-hmm. That's true. We'll tell a story about that next time.
Yes.
The salty story. There's actually a good salty story with a good ending, with a sweet ending.
Sweet farmer's market ending.
That's right. Okay, sweet. You were kind of salty yourself today, so we'll keep thinking about those nicknames.
That's right. We can change. Take each other's names.
All right, question of the week.
All right.
Talking about names.
Yeah.
What's your favorite farm name?
So
there's a lot of business names that are good. We'll use that a different week, but I've heard the funniest farm names lately. I'm just in love with some of the farms that we follow.
All right, you go first so I can think of one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I really like dog-tired homestead. I think that just pretty much says it all.
That's funny.
They're the cutest farmers. They're a family farm. Dog-tired homestead. I mean, tell me we're not dog-tired here.
I love it.
Some days.
Some days, all days.
I mean, it's sort of honest.
And especially
farmers.
farmers.
I think they raise dogs, too, in addition to whatever else they're raising. Pigs and vegetables and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I like
so
it.
cute.
So cute.
How about you?
I can't think of anything like funny. But I like Indian Summer Farm.
That's
that
nice.
always makes me, I don't know why, it just kind of appeals to me. They have a nice logo.
They do have a nice
Indian
logo.
Summer.
It's pretty. They you follow Happy Acres, right?
Oh, yeah, Happy Acres.
They're the best.
Oh, and they have the best Instagram.
They do have the best Instagram.
Can we just plug that? I don't know them. Maybe they're listening.
Maybe they're listening and they want to be on
them.
the podcast.
They are the best. They have the greatest stories, and they're really honest about how it is to farm and sell at farmers markets, and they're really passionate about what they do, and I am enthralled by their Instagram.
I love them.
Their story seems really great.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You're still thinking?
Yeah. I like Apricot Lane. I like these little
like Apricot Lane,
it sounds
too.
like magical. Apricot Lane Farm.
Apricot Lane Farm. So I'm going to go take their tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw The Biggest Little Farm again. If that's still playing in your area, do not miss it. Go see it.
Go see it. I saw it twice, and I would see it again.
Me too.
Yeah.
In fact, I might go see it again. I think
Is
I
it
might go
still
tomorrow.
playing?
It's still playing through Thursday here in San Diego. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. So if you're in San Diego, go find it.
Yeah.
It's great. That was great fun.
Such amazing. So,
right.
Apricot Lanes. We love them.
Having a
All
brain
right.
fart. I've been up since 4 a.m., so I'm sure this is not difficult for you farmers listening. But But up since 4 a.m. against my will.
No sick
child.
from our listeners
No.
about being tired.
Someone's probably listening to this at 4 a.m. while they're
That's
like
right.
milking the cows.
That's right.
Charlotte.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so much,
It's been a
everyone.
pleasure.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. Don't forget to get your tickets to the Intense Conference so we can see you live and in person. Watch for, check out our new website, Farmers Market Pros. It looks very much like the old website, but now it says Farmers Market Pros on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be coming up with other online education opportunities
Yes.
very soon. That's exciting too. We'll
Really
talk more about
excited.
that next time.
If you're local in San Diego, we do have our Vendor 101 course coming up on Monday, August 5th. So there's still a couple seats left in the class. So if you're local and you want to take that class with us, please sign up at vendor-101.com.
Right.
There's that 4 a.m. mental capacity coming in. So I'm so excited.
So it's fun.
And if you were at the conference last year and you want to send us a testimonial, I have reached out to a good handful of attendees. But if you were there last year and you have something wonderful to say about the conference, please shoot us an email. It can be like 3 to 10 sentences, something short and sweet, but what you loved and what you're excited about if you're coming back this next year. We love to hear that feedback. And I know that people who are going to the conference this year or are trying to decide about if they should come to the conference this year would love to hear that too. So
Yeah, let them know what makes sense.
yeah, for sure.
Great.
All right. Well, thanks. We'll see you next week. And thanks for listening today. Please leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you find your podcast, and tell us how you liked today's episode and how you like Tent Talk in general. Reviews always help us get a further reach with other people that are on a podcast app looking for Farmers Market podcasts. So thank you for doing that for those of you who have. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. They'll pop up as a new episode every week. And if you want more farmers market tips, tricks, and information, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter at, remember this, farmersmarketpros.com, and follow us on Instagram at our new handle, same page, Farmers Market Pros. So at Farmers Market Pros on Instagram. Watch for upcoming Intense the Farmers Market Pros events, both live and online. And like Kat said, take advantage of super early bird tickets right now for the 2020 Intense the Farmers Market Conference. That is happening February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2020 in San Diego. So be sure you get your tickets and your flights. Regular price for tickets is $355, but super early bird is $195. So you save $160 by planning ahead and getting your ticket in August. So please do that. We like all those early birds. We'd love to see you there. This podcast is produced by the Farmers Market Pros, where passion meets profit. Today's episode was recorded by Adam Samaha and edited by our own Justine Marzoni Mead. Original music by David Mead. Special thanks to ourselves because we didn't have a guest today. Special thanks to us for being in town at the same time so we could record an episode. Keep listening and we will see you next week.